Hey everyone, I'm Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you for joining me with another Mystery Mystic Monday. And we are taking another look at the Heidi Planck disappearance case that's been ongoing. It is an active investigation. I'm recording this video as of December 13th, 2021, so Monday. And I don't plan to publish this video until December 20th, 2021. So if you are watching this video, that means that there have been no real updates, maybe there will be a lot of updates and it still warrants having this video published. But if you're watching this video, it's because this was a reading that needed to be shared with you all. So please stay tuned to check out what transpired last week regarding her case, and we'll look and see what's going on energetically with that information. Thanks for joining me and stay tuned. All right, so here's what went on. I'm going to try to be as brief as I possibly can. And I did put 2 links into the description box to talk a bit more about this latest update. So the YouTube channel Mo and Boots, I had mentioned about their channel before, and so they're like a true crime investigative channel, web sleuths, if you will. And Dawn, she's Boots of Mo and Boots, she actually went to a visual. She went to a Heidi Planck, or a visual for Heidi Planck near the Hope and Flower building. And she connected with one of it sounded like Heidi Planck's good friends, who was a godmother to Heidi's son, I believe. And they were talking, and then there was this tenant of the building who was having tire troubles on her Maserati. And I guess asked them for help. And so somehow they end up going up to this woman's home or apartment in this building, and she started conveying some things about Heidi, about the night that she basically disappeared. And these are all, alleged. I don't know what to think of this story. Okay, I really honestly don't. But I'm putting the links in the description box, and you guys can let me know what you think about it as well. But Dawn says that this tenant proceeds to tell a story about Heidi going up to this particular apartment that was, I guess there were people having a party. I mean, there were it sounds like strippers were there. It was just like a party. And she, though, she had a mission of going to get some Adderall because her prescription ran out. She had a legitimate prescription, but it sounds like it ran out. So she was going to score some Adderall, from the streets, if you will. That happens a lot. And there's, for me, no judgment that happens. But they're saying that the Adderall was laced with fentanyl. And almost immediately after she took the pill, she started ODing. And then she fell down, and a glass broke, and people who were there at the party were involved in some nefarious activities, and they got scared. They didn't want this woman who could potentially bring up a lot of attention to what they were doing. They didn't probably want to answer questions as to how she got Adderall laced with fentanyl. And instead of helping her, they take her, and I don't know what they may have done to her before she OD'd or after she OD'd, but then they took her to the trash chute and dropped her down. So the news article, and I say news article loosely, it's the Sun. I remember back in the day, the Sun being kind of like a tabloid, if you will. But the Sun summarized everything very succinctly. But then the video, the live stream that Mo and Boots did last Friday, it goes into a little bit more in depth about what this tenant was saying and how employees of the Omni building, which Omni, I guess, owns Hope and Flower, and how they were involved. Like it was like a few people who carried her to the shoot. So that's when I did that one reading where it was saying that there was multiple people involved. That comes to mind. Also, what comes to mind is I'm still concerned that people have set up this picture of her having a mental condition that warranted getting drugs, and she went down. Look, the card that jumped, Three of Swords. So she went down to score these drugs, and she OD'd, and it's just as simple as that. And they're only guilty of throwing her down a trash chute, and that's how evidence is leading to the landfills that we saw. I'm concerned about that because it still feels like a cover-up to me. But I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. So I'm going to just shuffle some cards. You saw the Three of Swords jump. I'm going to shuffle some cards and just energetically pick up on what may be going on here. Is there any truth to this? What's really going on with this story? And then Dawn, the tenant, got mad. Like there was some sort of kerfuffle because the tenant was dating one of the employees, and he overheard the conversation going on between Dawn, Heidi's godmother, or Vaughn's godmother, and then the tenant, owner of the Maserati. And they start arguing or whatever. So Dawn and the godmother gets up to leave, and then home chick that owns the Maserati hit Dawn on the back of the head and gave her a concussion. And so I'm like, these people, not only do they have money to be able to live in that building, these people are not on the up and up. So something's going on there. And then they said that Heidi was dating someone. That's why she was there at the building. And it's not her ex-husband. It's not her boyfriend that lives in the Bay Area. It's someone else that she was dating. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the cards in a minute. Greedy keeps coming up. Okay. So, Three of Swords. In terms of, is there some truth to this? It does ring true. The Empress is telling me that yes, there is some truth to this story. And there's a strong sense of betrayal that happened to Heidi that night. A situation that she thought she could trust, a person or people that she thought she could trust. And there was mention back in the day that this was not her first time going to the Hope and Flower building. So perhaps, and the person who she was dating allegedly moved out of the apartment the next day. So whoever that is. So the oracle cards that jump so far is Twins, Evidence or Fire, burning of evidence, disposing of evidence, getting rid of evidence, burning evidence, and greedy. So again, these people that could have had something to do with her getting to the shoot, they are greedy and not really nice, good people. To see someone, to put your needs and fears of getting caught doing bad things above saving somebody's life, that does speak of greed. But honestly, look, the bank card jump. This is still speaking to me of a sense of her being tied to someone who is tied to somebody related to her work. Okay. And it's so easy to plant the story about her court issues. Someone who knew her would know possibly of the challenges she has, and also the fact that maybe she has a prescription. Maybe she's forthcoming about the fact that she has a prescription of Adderall. That is possible, right? So someone could have known this information and had turned it around on her and betrayed her because they are greedy. And there's someone else who is orchestrating this. These are just little players who did this, and it's just like it's like cracking open the piggy bank and then seeing all that it is. Once it's cracked open, at first you just see one, you see the bank, but you crack it open and then all the pennies fall out, right? It's the same. It's like once you crack the case, and if you honestly crack the case, all of this information is going to unfold. I'm still picking up on the fact that it would make it so simple and easy to say that she was needing her Adderall prescription. It was laced with fentanyl, because that's a lot that's going on in Los Angeles right now. And really, I'm assuming all over the United States, but I know it's a problem in California. Local. Look at the buildings here. Look at that. Also, interestingly enough, and I won't hold you guys up much more, but I recall, and I can't recall where I read it, I don't know if it was in Reddit or on a news article, or if actually, I think it was the Yelp reviews of Hope and Flower. About 2 weeks after she disappeared, people were complaining of a strong odor emitting from the trash chute. Stronger than what you would expect from a trash chute. I've been in buildings that have trash chutes. And I thought that struck me as odd. And I thought, they wouldn't do that. Someone wouldn't do that. And so there was enough evidence in the Hope and Flower building to warrant for the police to explore that and to further investigate, to say there is something happened to her in that building. Someone probably also moved her vehicle and moved it away from that apartment complex, moved it a few buildings down, a few garages down, to kind of throw people off. But the fact remains is that someone who she trusted did the ultimate betrayal to her. And it's not just, and it's not because they were into nefarious things themselves. It's because they were doing this on behalf of someone else. It does still feel very much like a cover up. Like a cover up. So that's it, folks. I just have all kinds of feels and thoughts about this. As far as like them searching the landfill, they have been, I guess they have been doing that for 2 weeks, and I don't know if anything was produced. The cops usually keep it mum until you have to find out information. Like I said, I'm just concerned that they could make it look like she had a fentanyl OD when in fact it was something more. And I talked about that in the very last reading that I did. Information's gonna come out that says she's one way, and she did something. She did this to herself, but no, someone betrayed her. There is some truth. There's some truth to this story, but it's part of a bigger story, if that makes any sense. So I want to hear from you all, your thoughts. After you've read the article, and if you peek, you can watch a little bit or all of the Mowing Boots video. And I'm curious to hear what you have to say and thoughts about this reading. I still feel like it's going to shake out to a cover-up. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We will continue to explore this and do updates in the future. One thing I forgot to mention in our Heidi Planck Disappearance update is that the tenant is a mother. So remember the Empress? This was something I forgot to mention because I was trying to cram through all of these details in a short amount of time. But the tenant was a mother of, like, I'm assuming a very small child, but not too small, because the child stated that they knew about Heidi. They even walked Seven, the dog. Like, it was this child's job to, like, pet sit, if you will. So I thought that was an interesting part of the story too, and that this tenant felt compelled to share. Like, some people, if you hang out probably at that building long enough, you will start to probably hear whispers and people talking. Some people cannot keep things to themselves. So I meant to add that. Sorry, you guys, but I didn't want this video to go without that important information as well. And so the dog is a part of this, this story as well. So I wanted to share that with you. I can't remember if the Sun article mentions it. I know that Mowing Boots talks about it in their video. All right, now we're done for real this time. That's it. That's all. And I now am really signing off for real this time. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you all in the next video.